One of the most frequently asked questions we get here at Business Coach Academy is how does it work to combine consulting with coaching? So that's what I'm going to answer right here in this video. So the first thing to understand is that in the most recent International Coaching Federation survey done in 2020, they found that 94% of coaches actually offer some other form of service other than just coaching. And the number one out of all of that was consulting. More than 60% of coaches who replied to the survey said they also did some form of coaching. Other was like mentorship or facilitation or other products and services. So from a coach consultant standpoint, before we even get into our system, then it absolutely works to be both a combination of a coach and a consultant, okay? Now, the reason we recommend that coaching is a key focus is that consulting is a nice add-on to coaching, but coaching isn't necessarily the ideal add-on to consulting. Let me explain why that is. When you set up a consulting agreement, it's normally to do with a fixed amount of time, a very specific project, and you're doing a lot of the work. And you can watch all our other videos about the difference between coach and consultant. I don't want to go into all of that here. But so if you try and then switch that to, okay, now I'm going to ask you some questions and you're going to do it, and you're actually trying to facilitate getting the person to do it, because that's the big thing about being a coach, is actually being able to create the behavioral change that's going to happen to shift the identity. So with consulting, you're kind of working on the business. With the coaching, you're kind of working on the person and the owner of the business or the leader in the business. So it's hard to go from consulting to coaching, but it's a bit easier to start with coaching and add in the consulting aspect, because now you're actually saying, look, this is what I'd recommend doing. This is what you can do, but you have to approach it in the right way. The other thing of why it's useful to do that is, and have it that way, is the consulting relationship is set up for a much more long-term thing, rather than consulting is very short-term focused quite often, maybe 6 to 12 months or even less, whereas coaching, if you're a great coach and you can keep transforming the person and helping them grow to achieve their vision, you can keep the clients years and years. So how specifically does it work with our system? Well, with our system, in the core training part of the partnership certification, you're learning really powerful coaching skills. You're learning how to create transformation in any individual person. Quite often, they know what they need to be doing. You just help them structure the thinking with the coaching questions we give you. But then it's about how do you actually get them to do the things that they know they need to do, okay? Because people don't have a lack of information these days. It's a lack of execution and implementation, which is why being a coach is so valuable. So that's what you get in the first core training aspect. And so you're learning specific questions on how to coach the individual to make those changes. You're learning specific coaching techniques and things to do within the business that needs to happen. But then outside of that, the actual Business Coach Academy system, depending on which level you're using, you're actually sometimes changing between coaching and consulting, because we've done all the work for you. So you might just be able to give them the worksheets, the videos, anything, and they just get on with it. And so some of that is almost just giving them the answer. Some of it is also asking them certain questions in order to be able to create that change. But it's okay to have that blend. And it just depends on what's your personality style, what does the client need at that particular point. But the thing to stress is it absolutely does work, but it's much better to go in there with a coaching relationship, a coaching offer, because it'll last much more long term. And the cherry on top is the fact that you'll give them some specific done for you templates, which we've already created for you, that make you really valuable to the client immediately. So the answer is yes, it does work to combine coaching and consulting, but you want to start with a coaching framework and relationship that can be built on, and you can add consulting to it, because that way you're still getting the client to do the work, you're still making shifts in the person, the relationship will last much longer, and the client will get a lot more benefit from that long term.